I need to share something with you, because for a long time, I was exactly where you are right now. Trying to fit in, trying to say the right things, trying to be the kind of person everyone expected me to be. But you know what I discovered? The more I did that, the more disconnected I felt from myself. Today, I want to tell you about a skill that changed my life, a skill no one teaches, but it changes everything. And the best part? You already have it within you. Have you ever found yourself replaying conversations in your head, analyzing every word you said, or revisiting that awkward silence, wondering what you could have done differently, wondering what you could say to your crush? I used to do that all the time. Every interaction felt like a test to see if I was good enough, interesting enough, likable enough. I'd watch videos about how to be a good listener, how to be more social, how to make people like me. And don't get me wrong, these techniques helped in a way. People started to smile at me, share their stories, even compliment me. But deep down, there was a void, because I knew they liked something I was pretending to be, not who I really was. One day, I realized something that changed everything. I was so focused on how people saw me that I had forgotten to ask myself, but who am I really, and what do I want? It was like a light switched on. I had been slowly erasing myself, trying to be everything for everyone, except myself. That's when I understood. The most powerful social skill isn't about listening more or saying the perfect thing. It's about stopping the constant need to fix how others see you. It's about connecting with the one person who truly matters in this story. You. Let me tell you something most people won't admit. Being authentic is scary, because when you decide to show up as who you truly are, you risk rejection. And let's be honest, no one likes rejection, right? But you know what's worse than being rejected? Living your whole life trying to please others, only to lose yourself in the process. I know what that feels like because I lived it, and I'll tell you this, it's not worth it. The most underrated, yet most important skill is to stop trying to be perfect. Stop seeking approval. Stop filling silences with things you think people want to hear. It's about listening to yourself, and that's where everything begins. And here, I will share the 5 lessons that changed my life. 1. Accept being yourself, even if it means being disliked. This was hard for me. I thought that if someone didn't like me, it meant something was wrong with me. But that's not true. Not everyone will like you, and that's okay. What matters is that you like yourself. 2. Take up your space. I used to wait for people to ask about me before sharing anything, but I realized that's like asking for permission to exist. Now I share my thoughts, my stories, my ideas, even if no one asks, because my voice matters, and so does yours. 3. Set boundaries. This one was tough too. I thought that to be liked, I had to always be available, always helpful. But do you know what happens when you don't set boundaries? You burn out. Today I say no when I need to. And you can too. 4. Embrace the silence. For the longest time I avoided silence. I felt like I had to fill it with something clever or funny. But here's what I learned. Silence isn't the enemy, it's just a moment, and it's okay to let it be. 5. Recognize when you're being inauthentic. We all have moments where we pretend to be something we're not. The trick isn't to beat yourself up over it. Just notice. Every time you recognize it, it gets easier to break free from that pattern. When I started applying these lessons, something incredible happened. My interactions became lighter. The right people started showing up in my life. Not because of who I was pretending to be, but because of who I really am. And you know what's the most freeing thing? Not needing everyone's approval. Being enough for myself was the biggest win. I want you to know that this is possible for you too. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to please everyone. What you do need is to take that first step toward being true to yourself. If this message resonated with you, if you feel ready to let go of the masks and start reconnecting with your essence, subscribe to this channel. Here, we talk about being real, being human, being you. Like this video and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Let's grow together. The truth is, you are already enough. You always have been. And the more you embrace who you truly are, the more the right people, the ones who value the real you, will show up in your life. So here's my question for you. Are you ready to let go of expectations and finally reconnect with who you are?